Hello, thanks for joining me. Hope your day is going well. So I'm mixing some cards up here at the moment, and I'm going to be doing a reading. If you saw my post from earlier, then you know that we've got some pretty crazy energy happening right now. Today we have the moon in Scorpio. Venus is in Scorpio now. And it's conjunct with the South Node, which is in Scorpio as well. And I do sidereal astrology, so if you follow astrology at all, then you are most likely following tropical, and that would all just be completely different, right? Like Venus would already be in Sagittarius, which it's not. Different thing. I'll go into that some other time, breaking that down. But for these cards, let's see. I want to do a reading kind of just based on the energies that we've got going on right now. Sun and Mars are also conjunct in Virgo. Pluto just went direct. Saturn is going to be going direct. So we've got a lot of energy moving and shifting and like just all this stuff going on right now. Maybe you feel it if you're more sensitive or in tune with these types of things. If not, maybe you're noticing things in your life, like maybe there's some changes or something happening. But either way, we're going to pull some cards, and then I'm going to do some readings on what the energy is saying for all this. So here we go. All right. Cool. Very cool cards. And so I'm going to just go right into this. And before I share this video, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to take pictures of the cards flipped and have you guys choose one. And then I'll post the video and you can, see what I have to say while I'm saying it here. But these are, I'm just looking right now, and these are some very interesting pulls. And I'm seeing a lot of positive energy overall. Like, you're not going to go wrong with whatever it is, like whatever you chose, even if you chose more than one card, which if you feel called to do that, that's also totally fine. But what I'm seeing, and it kind of makes sense, a lot of positive shifts, positive energy. Let's see. So this is the first card. Deep emotions. Okay. And it says unknown feelings, past life influences. And if you look at the artwork, it's kind of cool. I always try to get these because they're so pretty. But yeah, like, she's got like kind of like the solar disc headdress symbolism, the triangle, a lot of like crown energy, but deep emotions. So with this card, I feel with what we're seeing right now astrologically is, maybe you've had something that you've either been stuck on or maybe avoiding, or maybe trying to like work through, because it says right here unknown feelings. So maybe there's like this like feelings, something that you've had going on, and like you haven't been able to like really describe it for yourself, right? You haven't been able to like really put your finger on the feeling as to the cause or where it's coming from, why it's still there, why it's not going away, whatever the situation is. And with, especially with the planets going direct right now, that's a forward motion. So maybe you're getting some kind of confirmation right now. You could be getting a confirmation with the feelings that you're having. Maybe you're having some kind of breakthrough, like within understanding your own emotions, an aha moment, so to speak. With past life influences, so, you know, if you believe in past lives and stuff, you know, deep emotions definitely can linger. So, like, if there's a connection, like if you have a connection, be it with somebody else, and you know, maybe you don't know as a fact or for certain that it's a past life thing, but you know, if there's strong emotions tied to a person, a place, it can be anything, person, place, thing, and if there's that sort of uncertainty around it, then there's a strong indication that there is some kind of past life influence, right? A familiarity, shared energy, shared connection, and with this, I feel that it is a breakthrough. I feel that it's you're moving forward finally. Maybe this is something that you have struggled with, or just you've been stuck in it. You've been feeling it for a while. I don't know how long, maybe several months, maybe longer. But you're finally getting this like forward motion. And I feel that this card is a confirmation of that. It's saying, you know, to, you know, accept those emotions. Like, don't try to put them to the side. Don't try to ignore it or try to invalidate yourself. Like, you know, sometimes we might do that. We might be like, oh, you know, whatever. We try to invalidate our own feelings and intuitions and things. And this card is saying that you should, you know, kind of jump into it. And that's a very Scorpio thing too, right? Because Scorpio energy is very like deep and intense and like kind of like this like deeper level, your subconscious, right? So it's kind of fitting for right now, like the energy. And with the Sun and Mars and Virgo as well, I think that energy works very well with Scorpio, because Virgo is very analytical, detail focused. So you get this like nitty gritty and then like the deep obsessive darkness of Scorpio energy, and combined it's just like you're gonna get to it, right? You're gonna get down into it and you're gonna figure it out. Hopefully, right? But yes, no, definitely will. So that's the first card, deep emotions. And so for the next card, we have go with the flow. So as I said, I feel like these are all like really positive cards, which is always really nice, like not getting something that, you know, is more conflicting and all that. But with go with the flow, it says letting go, cleansing, receiving. See that she's kind of like got her arms crossed around her chest, like, so I feel like there's a lot of heart energy, like this, and then there's the crown stuff happening. So crown, heart centered, and she's got like the thing on her third eye. Can you see it? Third eye gem. So there's like all this like activation stuff happening here. And this card, I feel it's pretty straightforward. It's telling you to go with the flow. So, you know, whatever events are happening around you right now, whatever circumstances, kind of surrendering to it, letting go of maybe your own expectations of how something should be or how it should play out, or like letting go of like the expectations that you might even have for yourself, will help you. And when you can surrender in that way, then you are receiving, right? And this card's also about receiving. So receiving energetically, you know, I'm trying to think how to put this, when we can be at peace with ourselves and our choices, and if like, you know, we're following our own truth, right? If we are following our paths and being honest with ourselves, and letting go in those moments where we might not want to let go, but like if we can like learn and balance that. If there's something, a situation, an expectation, just anything, anywhere that you feel this like sort of attachment, and like you feel like you need to have something happen a certain way, or you need a certain outcome, you should work on releasing that and try reframing it and accepting whatever will be, right? Going with the flow. And it doesn't mean that you don't try. It doesn't mean that you don't hope for whatever it is. It just simply means that you are okay either way. Because when you can be okay either way, whether the outcome is what you expect or want or desire or not, then usually you will receive what you want or better. Like it just is the way the universe kind of works at times. You will always be aligned with what's for you, though, is a big thing here. What's for you is not for you. So sometimes when you are told no, sometimes when your path is redirected, it's kind of like divine protection, right? It's the universe turning you around or turning you this way and that way, and it's protecting you. And you might not know it then, you might not know it for 5 years down the road, and that's always like the really crazy part. I've experienced this, so it's always crazy once you're further down the road, right? But sometimes like those rejections or the attachments that don't happen the way you want it to, it's for your own good. And what's for you is for you. What's not for you will never be for you. And sometimes we, being having egos and everything, sometimes we are stubborn about that. And of course it's your choice. You can be stubborn and you can keep going down that road, but there's consequences. So like when you're pushing and forcing because you're dead set on something, usually you're going to learn some lessons, and the lessons will redirect you. It's much easier to just go with the flow and to try and align and get in tune with that type of energy. So that's what this card is about. Go with the flow. Cool. All right. So now we have the next card, and this is a very positive card too. We have grateful optimism, and it says joyous view of the future. And so we see, I'll try and look here. It's hard to tell right here, but there's like a little butterfly, and it's like radiating like the like beams of light out of her heart center. More crown energy. We've got it's not swans, but it's some kind of like bird. I don't know what that is. And this woman is happy. She's embodying gratitude and optimism, and she's got like her hands down to her like sacral chakra area. So those are the energies being activated in this card. We've got the sacral, the heart, third eye, crown, and for the energy that this card is relaying, great future, right? Maybe you have grateful optimism if you chose this card is saying to embody more optimism because you got really good things coming for you. Maybe to shift your perspective. So like maybe you've been having a hard time lately, and if you've been having some hard times, this card is saying to be ready for your future because it's going to turn around. With the energy is going direct, and like the transits that we're going through, you have good things coming your way. kind of like the first card, there's a forward momentum. There's a forward motion occurring. So grateful optimism. Another thing that I get with this card is the idea of gratitude and practicing gratitude. That's something that's really huge for me that I've incorporated over time and I've learned over time. And it's one of those practices that once you start doing it, you realize like how healthy it is, for one. Like it's just a healthy sort of like mindset to have. But it really does like help change like your own perspectives, and it can shift a hard day or a bad week into a better one when you can stop and you can reframe your day, your week, your month into what are you grateful for? What can you be grateful for? And I think that this card is heavy on that energy. And I would say it's calling you to practice more gratitude in your own life if you're not doing that. But it's energy exchange. So when you understand like those kinds of like principles and stuff, it gets a little easier to understand like why you should have awareness of the emotions that you feel, have awareness of the thoughts that you have, awareness of the patterns of thoughts, feelings, emotions that you have within your day-to-day, and the things that are shifting them, possibly controlling them. Like it's a lot. Self-awareness takes a lot of work, and it takes time, and it takes practice. But when you have that, things will flow easier. And you get that sense of, you get that internal sense of optimism in a way, because like you get this, like you get a strength, right? You build an inner strength, and when you have that feeling where it's like nothing's gonna stop you because you've got this, you've been there, you've done that, you're good. You know how to handle those tough feelings and thoughts and emotions and experiences. When you get to that point, there's kind of like an inner sense of optimism. Like it's like this like very lightness is how I would describe it. It's just like a light feeling of like it's all good, and it's a pretty good place to be. And of course that fluctuates. I don't mean to say like that's it. Oh, you're good. Like you're always going to be great. No, that's not realistic. It fluctuates. However, it's like a baseline, right? You can think of it as a baseline for where you are. And, you know, sometimes you're going to dip below that. But when you have the skills, the type of skills that you want to have for coping and soothing yourself and getting through those types of things, then you can return to the baseline, right? Much easier, much faster, and it'll occur, you know, less frequently. And so I feel it's something that kind of goes with all these cards, because it's about growth, right? It's about growth, moving forward, momentum. And I feel that fits with each of these cards: deep emotions, going with the flow, and optimism, right? Like they all go hand in hand. So like you could even take all of these cards and energetically be like, these are connected. And it's kind of like giving you these insights of like how each area, you know, like connecting with your inner self, your inner emotions, learning to go with the flow of those things, to let them come up and to feel them, experience them, process them, not rejecting them, not tying, you know, narratives or negative self-talk or, you know, all those things that can come up with things like that, but simply feeling it, receiving it, letting it flow, come and go, and then getting to a point of, you know, grateful optimism, right? this inner peace, an inner knowing, and an inner strength, an inner well-being. Right now, energetically, things are definitely kind of crazy. We also have Mercury retrograde right now too. There's a whole bunch of other planets retrograde. But with all that said, with the, Venus South Node conjunction today, with the Sun and Mars thing that we've got going on, and just with where all the planets are heading, we are in for quite a ride for a while. I mean, that's not really going away. And you see it playing out in the world. It's huge things happening, good and bad. And on a smaller scale individually, we're going through the same process. We're always going through the same process, whether we are aware of it or want to participate in it, right? However, when we choose to participate, when we choose to work with those energies, to tap into a higher awareness and our own inner selves, there's just a lot more that can be done, and there's much more rewards in the end, because you are tuning into yourself, your higher self. So I guess I'm gonna leave it there. I feel like I did this really fast. I usually take a little bit more time to process cards before I do a reading like this, but I wanted to do this direct right in front of you guys, and see what happened. And I hope that helps, and I hope that all this positive transformative energy comes to you and brings very good things your way. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and have a great rest of your night.